What did you switch to that? You like that better? The mic.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Right here. Yo, what the fuck do you want?
You're done, dude.
Bruh, you gotta be quick. I'm on a podcast. What are you doing? Well, what are you doing? Oh, you're still working? I was gonna say you should come over and be on it. Like right now, you should just bail out of work.
Yeah, just get fired.
Our buddy Tommy Harris, he's a mechanic.
Wait, so who else do you practice? You're practicing
All right, hit me
mechanic
up in
for
a
other
little bit.
people too, right?
Yeah, well, so, like, are we...
Or I could just ask you once.
I was
we're
going to
live.
say,
We're
do you
good.
want me to... Are we good?
Yeah, we're live. We don't
You-
really
you-
do much of a.
you-
We
Throw an
kind of
intro
skipped.
in, or
We kind of went
just-
over we kind of got rid of the intro thing just because like it was so like staged.
Yeah.
And I hated it every time. That was like the only part of the podcast. I'm just like,
Not natural.
no.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hi everybody, welcome back.
Welcome to Media Pub.
No, we're
Yeah,
on
we don't
here.
really do
We're on
that.
here chilling.
Yeah, we're back
He
in
already,
the-
he already said your name on the phone.
Yeah.
So
Well, if we do want to do like a somewhat of a proper intro, we have our good buddy Tommy Harrison today, mechanic for Factory Honda Racing. We're back in the Temecula house. Temecula is not currently here. They are in New York doing some sort of bike life ride out thing. So
R.I.P. Shane's camera.
yeah. Shane, I let Shane use one of my video cameras, and I seen him post on Instagram or something this morning that one of his cameras got lost. So the first thing I did was assume that was mine.
didn't ask him.
Didn't ask.
Love that.
I didn't want to ruin his trip. So Shane, if you do see this at some point, I didn't want to ruin your trip, and if it was my camera you lost, I didn't want to like bum you out.
But you also didn't want to know, really.
But I didn't really want to know either. Yeah. So luckily we found out it wasn't my camera. So shout out to Shane for not losing my shit.
Thanks for losing yours, bud.
And yeah, thank you for losing yours and still letting us use your house to do our podcast. So thank you to Shane Davis and Temecula.
Yes,
So
sir.
Tommy Harris, what is good, brother?
Just working away, buddy.
Just working away.
Yeah.
The factory Honda lifestyle.
Yeah. Races, practice tracks, shop days, the whole thing.
What's
Online.
the current situation right now? Like post Loretta's, we'll go into that in a little bit. But like right now, day to day, like what's next? What's really going on right now? And it's usually kind of downtime of year for amateur. But
Yeah.
is Chance doing the last outdoor? Or you're not allowed to say? Or?
The plans are kind of up in the air right now.
Okay.
He does have a bike built on the truck that I built after I went to, what was the last one?
Unadilla.
Unadilla.
Yep.
After Unadilla, I stayed back and built up his bike or whatever. So there's a bike on the truck. It's prepped and ready to go if he does the combine at Ironman, if he races pro Ironman, if he races Paula, like we'll be prepared for it. It just kind of need to take a reset after a pretty hard Loretta's on him and the team and everything. Like so, it just took a mental reset and bike reset and everything, and so we're just kind of ready for wherever the cards fall at that point.
So let's break down your job a little bit. What exactly is your role at Honda? And because we were just talking, you wrench for Chance Hymas.
Yep.
But you kind of work for everybody sometimes.
Yeah, so I mean, my main position is they call it test bike technician. It's the official title if you want to get down to the nitty gritty. But so I've been there 4.5 years. This Supercross season will be 5 years.
Wow.
And before working with Chance and since I've been working with Chance, I've still been doing this, is I'm the test guy. I take care of the test truck, all of Trey's bikes. And then at the shop, a lot of times I'll help the race mechanics work on the California test bikes, or even like a lot of times during the season, the guys got to fly out and either build on Thursdays or they're flying out on Thursdays. And the riders, when they're in California, they fly out Fridays and they want to ride on Thursday. So I'll take the guys out by myself and do that whole deal. So kind of a California practice guy as well as the full-on test guy. And then I'll go to a lot of the races myself as an extra hand because I do work on the 250 and the 450 quite a bit with Chance and Trey. So I'm kind of the guy on the team that knows the bikes the best, and especially especially both CC size. So during motor swaps or any fire drills, I can hop right in with the team, and no matter which technician it is or which bike it is, I can hop right in and help the guys out. So I go to a lot of the races just based off that fact.
That's sick. So you have a bunch of roles.
Yeah, I do a lot. Yeah. And then at the shop, whenever I got free time, there's a bunch of like just random like special projects I do too. There's just like modifying parts and stuff that I've kind of spent the most time. That's because before working with Chance, I had a little bit more time than I do now, man. I'm slammed nowadays doing that and the whole Chance thing. But before, I would tweak out on a bunch of stuff and like modify a bunch of shit that we do and get it all dialed in for the boys. So yeah, I mean, it's basically anything the team needs, I do.
That's a sick gig. You get to be around cool people all the time.
Yeah, it's cool because like I've been able to work super close with the riders, but then not have that stress aspect of being the race guy.
Right.
Because I mean, I feel it with Chance and even with Trey, like or any of the guys when I build them a bike, like there's always that little bit of stress because it's their life's in your hand.
Yeah, and it's dirt bikes. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, even if it's not your fault.
Yeah,
there could be a parts failure,
but you might feel like it is.
Exactly, you feel like there's something you could have done to prevent it, even if there wasn't. But yeah, so that stress factor is always there. But when I get to work with, like, say, Chase, I'm really close with Chase. I got to know Cole pretty well through that and everything. So like that side of it is cool because I get to do the practice days and do all that stuff with the boys, but then they go race and do their thing. And when they're stressed out, like it's a different aspect when you get to hang out with, or not even hang, but just work with them on like a chill practice day where you just go out and do your laps and you're joking around in the pits and stuff like it. Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty laid back. That side of it is pretty cool. Yeah,
that is cool. I'm actually curious myself. I'm sure a lot of people are too. But what's it like working with Kennard? I'm sure that's pretty cool.
Oh, dude, Trey's
I've only heard
awesome.
Good things.
Dude, Trey is one of the best human beings I've ever met in my life. He is so cool. Yeah, I mean, he's super, super knowledgeable about the bikes too. He's been around the block he's been on Honda forever, obviously, and he's gone through the development process and knows a lot of the HRC staff and stuff because a lot of those guys are all the same people. So like he's familiar with them. He works with the OEM side of things too. So he does a lot of the like production bike testing, and so that's good for us because he gets to know the bike before it even comes out and everything. And
that's cool.
Yeah, there's just a lot of aspects with Trey that just make it a perfect situation, and just the fact that he's an awesome guy to be around makes it that much easier.
And then it's funny that you asked that because I actually thought you were going to steal my question.
Well, tell me it and I'll say it.
I've been around this for long enough now that, I'm still a fan of like everybody. I'm still a fan of all the riders, but now, I mean, I'm sure you deal with the same thing, but like working with them, that like fan level kind of goes down a little bit. But one dude that races that I'm still like total fanboy of that I really haven't got to meet or spend time with is Kenny.
Oh yeah.
Like when Kenny posts on Instagram, I'm still a little girl and I'm like,
right.
Like stoked to see him post. Like
I love you, Kenny.
Like he's a rock star. I see Kenny as like.
Well, and obviously he's like dealing with some tough times with his health and shit like that, but he never really lets it phase him for the fans and stuff. You know, Unadilla throwing the fattest whips, like for the
dude, he was just throwing some sick.
And I love how family oriented he is now.
Yeah, and I still read all the fucking idiots on Instagram and every other social media platform that just say all that stupid shit like, oh, he's lost it and he doesn't have it anymore, or he doesn't want it anymore, or whatever it is. Like it's everybody's just forgot about like
how gnarly he is,
how gnarly the arm injuries and everything was, and like everything his body's went through. Like my dad and I talk about it all the time. My dad loves Roczen.
Yeah.
And it's like, in our opinion, his body's probably just spent. Like,
well, like he's even posted about his immune system, like, and I think, I mean, obviously his arm had to have something to do with that, but
it had to have weakened everything.
But he, like, dude, he's not supposed to have an arm. Best case scenario was have an arm and not race again. He's won main events in motos since then. Like, no one's supposed to do that. He wasn't supposed to do that.
Right. Yeah. And exactly, like for him to still go out and be a contender in the 450 class of what the 450 class is right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's at the highest level it's ever been, and he's still a top guy. So, and just how he carries himself, like, it just something
very
about
respectful.
Yeah, there's just something about Kenny where I'm like, that dude is he's the man. So,
right.
What is it like to be around somebody like that all the time? And like, you know, I'm sure you probably were the same way. Like, you've seen him as a rock star, and now you're around him all the time.
Yeah, it was actually kind of funny. I started working for the team, I think 3 or 4 rounds after he got hurt in San Diego. The second time, or no, was it Anaheim? With
San
Cooper.
Diego was the hand when he ran into Cooper. Yeah,
when it got caught in the sprocket.
Wheel. Yeah.
So that I started working for the team shortly after that. We had just gotten Christian to fill in, and then so I didn't really get to spend all that much time with him when I first went from Joe Blow to in the industry, because my first job in the industry was HRC Honda, which is
no shit.
Yeah, it was
that's badass.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I went from fanboy to
shop boy to
shop
head
boy. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
I went from fanboy to shop boy like that, and Kenny wasn't really around all that much. Like I met him here and there. He'd come to some races or whatever, but like he got all jacked up. So like he was doing his thing, recovering and all that. So when I did get to start like being around him a lot, that had kind of worn off a little bit, and I was more like my job or whatever. And I mean, it's cool. Like, he's extremely talented. Like, I could watch that guy ride all day long and not get bored of it.
He has my
his style's
it's so
unmatched.
Watching him ride is unreal.
It's like it's literally poetry in motion.
Exactly.
It is.
Yeah, there may not be another person in the world that could ride to the levels that he has ridden, and still can ride on occasion when he's got his body figured out and all that stuff. Like, he is so gnarly. And so that aspect for me is cool. And then off the bike, he's just a normal dude.
Right.
Like, he's just like us. I mean, that's the thing with these athletes is, like, everyone's like, oh my God, they go crazy for him and stuff.
Right.
But then you get to know him, like, away from the bike or whatever, or like we have a Christmas party or whatever, and you're just BS and eating tacos and drinking beer or whatever, and they're just normal
humans.
Dudes that
I know
like
everyone
to surf, that like talk about their family and like the whole nine.
Right.
Speaking of which, congrats to you and your girl.
Thank you. Yeah, we're
fresh one.
We're very hyped.
Hashtag daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every night now, instead of going out on the town, I go home and change diapers.
Yeah, you were a party animal, dude. You were every night. No, I'm just kidding.
I had a real good party career going, and I had to give it up.
Stop talking about me. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But no, it's cool. Thank you. We're super hyped.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
That's what's cool is, kind of like taking it back to what you just said, is like, now that opens up a whole bunch of conversations with people that I wasn't able to have before.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I was at DBK a couple days ago, and I'll go in there and talk to Bakes, and usually we just bullshit about whatever, and now when I go in and talk to him, it's like
family talk.
It's like family talk.
Right.
How are the kids doing? And he's having another one, and so we get into like newborn talk, and it's fucking crazy. It's just it's weird that I'm somebody who created a human,
right?
And
you probably still don't realize it till you do it. Like, sitting back, it's still not what you thought.
I still I'll be sitting there holding her, and I'll just be looking at her.
This came from here.
Yeah, it's just, I'm like, I made this little nose, these little ears,
it's a trip.
Came out of my unit. It's weird to think. Which she's 2 months now, a little bit over 2 months, and usually baby's eyes start to take color, and I don't have blue eyes. Morgan doesn't have blue eyes, and she has blue eyes. So
she's not mine, I promise.
Yeah, we were wondering if we had this ongoing joke in the house when we all lived together that my girlfriend Morgan would have affairs with Dylan.
Yeah. And that joke really didn't age well.
Yeah,
when the blue eyes started rolling,
the blue eyes thing's really messing me up.
It's like one of those weird deals. It's like, it's all good. I'd probably rather it be Dylan's dad, Joe, than Dylan.
This is true.
Because Joe's a stud. But if it had to be anybody else's seed, I guess I'd rather it be Dylan.
But it is funny though on that note, because I've always heard you wouldn't. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But 2 browns make a blue.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, what are you guys' parents like?
My mom has like weird green hazel, and then my dad has blue.
Yeah,
and then
which also can make a blue or a brown. It's like there's a lot of weird stuff behind all that.
Sure
I remember I learned this stuff in freshman year or something in high school, and there's some sort of chart you put all the family members' eyes. He knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Bullboy just walks in with the knowledge.
He's
right when he gets here, he's just on. Dude.
Yeah. Bullboy's not long out of high school.
Hash Boy might know exactly. He's just fresh out. And he didn't really participate though. He didn't participate.
Yeah.
Join us, man.
We're gonna bring old Bullboy on. I would try to connect. There's a tripod on my bag, and I would try to just hook it up like back there and try to just get all of us. Honestly, if you can't get an angle that fits all of us, just say fuck it and come hang.
Just come chill, bro.
With all of you guys?
Yeah, but
I'm gonna just move this, or I'll just freaking.
Yeah, you can move that.
Was Bryce here or no?
He was, but he left.
He said, "Oh, Bullboy's coming. I'm fucking out.
I'm out.
Can't handle this, man."
We brought on Bullboy for the first time for that Marshall episode, the last one we did, and I told him this, and I think he thought I was joking, but Marshall could only stay for like 45 minutes or whatever, so we brought on Bull after.
Yeah, like I told you, I listened to that today at work, actually.
Did you get to the food segment?
Yes.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Chick-fil-A. And your whole spicy sandwich Chick-fil-A.
Dude, I'm not joking.
No one knows Chick-fil-A better than this man's.
I sent a snap of just like that part of all of us literally
just BSing
talking about food. And I sent it to a bunch of friends on my Snapchat, and almost every person replied and was like, "Bro, Bullboy is funny as fuck." Like,
and you got Hesh to talk.
Like, you should have Bullboy on there all the time.
He sat there and didn't say a
Hesh
single
Boy didn't
word
say a
until
single
he
word.
Yeah.
Not a word.
And then he wouldn't
Besides,
shut up
the
after
fuck up.
Bullboy came on.
Yeah. Yeah, Bull and Hesh have this special little bond that
it's just a little.
It's probably a generational thing.
Just a little lovers thing, you know. Low key.
We haven't quite figured it out yet, but. Bullboy, do you know Tommy?
No.
I know. Nice to meet you. I'm Sean.
Nice to meet you, man.
His real name's Bullboy. I don't know why he tells people.
Sean's his nickname.
I heard you're going with the lime green.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You making
Ranky
any
saw
pizza
that,
bites,
yeah.
Bullboy, or what?
What?
You making us any pizza bites? Or?
No, it's just this unhealthy like breakfast sandwich thing.
I was gonna say, I know you brought some snacks.
Did you?
He's a snack guy.
Did you have Chick-fil-A before you came?
I didn't, dude. I had to not get any food on the way home and just go get my camera.
Because you were getting rushed.
Yeah.
Good.
Who was rushing you?
You.
Oh, you didn't even have to beat. No.
No, we appreciate you coming on, Bullboy. We were sitting here waiting for you. It's just you just bring more life to the party.
You really do.
Not.
You do.
I don't know.
I wish I had some snacks though.
My sandwich is done, so I'm gonna go get it.
Right.
All right, later, Bullboy.
Oh.
Yeah, oh, that's got to be cropped out.
Yeah, it's a
That was
$400 mic that just hit the ground. No big deal.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, and leave it. Cool.
Hey, what kind of sandwich are you making though?
One of these episodes where it's just like him and Bullboy or Hesh, I want to fuck around and just eat chips while they're talking.
Need a cough button for every time you eat the.
No.
I know, just a blanket real quick.
Or a fart machine, just.
All right, so now that we got Bullboy back, let's dig into the Loretta's stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
You were down there with Chance Imus.
Mm-hmm.
Chance, from what I had heard and seen, Chance was a contender to be the top guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think everybody kind of assumed that if anybody was going to be Ryder,
He was definitely one of the favorites.
it was going to be
the
Chance.
favorite,
Yeah. And then
He was my favorite going in. That's for sure.
and then
Is there
at the
Pulp
end
Amateur
of it,
Fantasy?
I have no idea.
there should be actually. That would be sick.
I think it's illegal to bet on. Maybe I don't know. Anyways,
But then at the end of it, I think a lot of people were not even disappointed with his results, but
Period.
surprised.
Yeah.
What? Give us a little bit of like insight on that. Was Chance hurt? Was he dealing with some shit? Did he just not have a good week?
No, he's all healthy. He's good physically and everything. I don't know. We've had a rough summer so far. Coming off of Supercross, obviously that was a major high, and that was awesome for all of us. We put a ton of work into that, and spent a lot of time dialing his bike in and stuff, and then switched over to outdoors on this new chassis for us, and thought we were in an okay spot. Had a couple setbacks on some test days and stuff that may have ended up actually not leading us in the right direction. So then that put us kind of behind the 8 ball, and then kind of had a rough combine at Red Bud, which, I mean, he still rode good there. He still had faster lap times than Deegan, and everyone was hyping him obviously up. He won. He deserves to be talked about and stuff, but it sucked for Chance because he crashed twice, still ran decent lap times, was trying to work through the pack, then, of course, crashed on the start of the second one, so that's sent him way back, and he just had to work his way back up. But that was rough, but there was also some positives in it. And then go to Mammoth, and kind of the same thing. Had some good motos where no one could touch him, and he just ran away from everyone. And then had some motos where he just kind of got mixed up with them and couldn't really get to the front like he's used to. And that was kind of the same story as Loretta's, and just kind of snowballed. And we improved throughout the week and everything, and man, we were all busting our ass. Between my crew chief Hutch, he was guiding us quite a bit in bike direction and stuff, and obviously I'm doing my part, making sure the bike's all good. He had a couple crashes, so obviously taking care of the bike after that and looking over it and just making sure everything's dialed in for him. And then on his side with him and Jake and his dad and everything, trying to just do their part. And we slowly progressed, and it got okay by the end, but the beginning wasn't anything stellar. So if he could have rode like he did at the last day or two, I think the week overall would have been better. But we just kind of came in the wrong direction and had to bust our ass to try and steer the ship back towards the way we should have been. And when you're out there, there's only so much you can do. Yeah. So once the ball starts rolling in the wrong direction, it's hard to
pick some momentum in the wrong direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he were his gate picks okay, or were they kind of bad
for the first motos?
Yeah,
they were trash.
Yeah.
And Chance, if you see this, it's not my fault. He made me pick the chips both times. I pulled 32 and 38.
Oh. Yeah, see, that's what sucks is, like, I think they were saying it might have been on Pulp or something, but they're like, you spend 10 or 12 grand or whatever to get to Loretta Lynn's just to draw a damn chip.
I seen that.
Like, and it does suck, because it's like that honestly can make or break your weekend, like that in the blink of an eye. But it's funny how sometimes coincidentally you'll get the kids that are not only one of the fastest, but they just get the perfect numbers, and it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, come on.
I can't remember what opens, if it was first or second, if it was 250 or open, but one of them, Ryder and Chance, were both way in the back.
Yeah,
I think it was the one that I pulled 38. Ryder was, or maybe 36, and Ryder was 38.
Oh,
and I'm
shit.
like,
so they were both bad.
Yeah, they were both back there. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was the 451, because, dude, when you pull that bad of a chip against a class against 450s when you're on a 250, it is so hard.
Oh, so he didn't ride a 450?
No.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mammoth he did, but Loretta's he didn't.
Okay.
No shit.
Yeah.
What is Ryder and Chance's relationship like? Are those two buddies?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're best friends, but I know they're pretty friendly with each other. Yeah.
Because they're definitely, like, from a racing standpoint, they're like rivals.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's gonna be a long career for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything I've seen, they've been friendly competitors.
Yeah. That's how it should be.
Yeah, exactly. They've basically grown up racing each other, and they were on the same team last year, so it's like, or I guess 2 years ago now.
Right.
But
are they about the same age, or
Ryder, I think, is like 6 or 8 months older than him.
Older?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So Chance just turned 17. I think Ryder turned 17 a little bit ago.
I forget how young Chance is.
Dude.
Yeah.
I thought he was 19.
I knew he was that young, but
I thought he was like 19.
Hearing that again, it like refreshes that he's that young.
Yeah. So do you think that might, like, not saying like pressure is probably not the right word, but like the next step, like we talked about, like when's he going pro? Do you think that's kind of in the back of his mind? Like, I mean, he is only 17.
Dude, yeah.
Like, do you think he sees his teammates, Jet and Hunter, and he's just like, I need to be there quicker. Like, I need to be there already.
No,
or is he good about kind of being patient?
He's really good. Because
that's hard at 17.
Structure, his family structure, Jake, himself, the mental side, they're really good. Like, like Loretta's was hard mentally and everything, but he bounces back quick. He is so strong mentally, and and as far as that stuff, like he's patient. Like he's out racing an off-road race this weekend actually. That's cool. So like he's doing what he feels like he needs to do to get to that level. He's not rushing and going to put himself in a bad situation that's just going to end up
that's good
being worse in the long run.
Well, I feel like it's really good for him having Jake around. Jake's pretty positive, and I feel like really good for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So with riders, he's already pro. He's fully in the 250 class now. I think you might have just asked this, but is there any prediction on when Chance will be on a pro gate?
Maybe Paula.
Gotcha.
Not sure. Like I was saying earlier, it's
but
kind
not
of up
before.
in the air. Probably
Best
not.
case, maybe Paula.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just feel it out.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, the bike's built, bike's ready to go. Yeah. So we'll see.
I'm not like super familiar with like the eligibility or how it works, but like how like you can do like one or two races but not score points, or you can score a certain amount.
Can't score over 15
or
3 races or 40 points or something.
Okay, so is it maybe considered like maybe Paula and then still stay amateur till outdoors again?
That's a possibility.
Like
but
maybe do amateur spring nats and then switch over to outdoor.
Maybe.
Because that'd be cool.
Because like our original plan before Loretta's was Unadilla, Buds, Ironman.
Yeah.
And keep him eligible just in case anything, like this is on Honda's side, like what their kind of plan was that just keep him eligible in case anything happens. Like obviously it's dirt bikes. I mean, look at your hand right now. Like things can happen like that. So just based off that fact, keep him eligible. But then I think what we're gonna do is kind of same thing as last year, where he did like a Supercross prep with the boys and like went to the Honda track with Kenny, Chase, Jet, and Hunter, and he learned a lot from them, like watching them, and they were giving him tips left and right. Obviously he's got Jake too, so I think he's gonna start riding Supercross again when Supercross time comes. I don't know if he's gonna line up and race anything. He might do some future stuff, but then his plan is to race pro full outdoor season next year. Yeah. So he'll probably stop like Supercross riding or prep or whatever early. Like say when like West Coast ends or whatever, that type of where that break starts, he'll probably start riding outdoors around there and prep, or maybe even sooner. Like we know we're not going to chase the Supercross Futures Championship again or anything like that. So
I think he's sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
I think he's like, do you guys look at it the same way? He's already too advanced for the Futures. I mean, unless Ryder shows up, he's got no competition, and even when Ryder is there, there's times he walked right away.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucked because it didn't suck, but there's so much potential in that system.
Yeah, and the idea
of it. You just need the guys to show up.
Right. Exactly.
And the scary part is a lot of these guys don't have very much Supercross experience. And from what Supercross Futures was before, like COVID, or before it went away and then came back as what it was this past year.
It was like lame.
It was Sundays. They laid the track down.
Yeah, it was
like
bad. It wasn't cool. It was like doubles and
all 4 of us could have went out there.
It was like Minio's amateur Supercross.
Exactly. Yeah. So when all those guys, all the A and B guys showed up for that, it's like they might as well go ride the Paris Vet track. It's the same damn thing. It's like there's no point in it. But
Bullboy was ready.
This last year, it was full on Supercross track. Like they're riding the same exact thing That like they literally
and in front of all the fans.
Their race was right before, like probably 40 minutes before opening ceremonies, maybe even less.
It was right.
Before.
Okay,
it was right before the night show. It was the last thing of the day show.
The crowd for
true. I forgot about that. But that's probably why I never caught one.
But then Salt Lake was the championship or whatever. They put them in the night show. So literally right before LCQs or heats or something, they went out there and raced, and like they're racing the same tracks at the same time, the whole thing, and like they're getting to really experience it. So for the top A guys, in my opinion, that's like unreal like opportunity to go figure out what you can do, so you're prepared for the future. And if
you're not showing up on your 250 debut like, oh fuck, I have never done this
in front of a crowd for the very first time, like that's scary for those guys.
And that's good to see too, where like where kids' mental state's at.
And like, I feel like that's
which sometimes you could get a kid at the practice track that's killing it, but they show up in front of fans and they fold.
Very true. I feel like that's just good for the sport too. Like it puts attention on the amateur scene again. Like it makes the amateur scene look more legit.
It's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, if I heard maybe rumors they're opening it up to like B guys too, kind of like the combines at the outdoors.
I'm a fan of that. I like the combine.
So like if you say, for instance, if that happened this year, you get Bennett in there, Deegan obviously,
Dax,
Dax and Bennett. What's like the top B guys, the top A guys, like Gavin was in there. Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. See, I like that idea a lot more, because nowadays, like, depending on where you are, the B class is basically an A class.
Yeah.
Like,
again, a lot of times, like, dude, even like my end of my amateur career, the B was faster than the A.
Exactly.
Like, it's always been the story.
It's been like that for a long time.
But different motos.
Exactly. Different
it's
times
not fair
in the
to judge
day and stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's like saying even in Supercross, like sometimes a 250 class, like, oh, the 250 guys are faster than the 450. Well, that's not fair. The track's worse.
The track's so different.
Especially Supercross. It makes a huge... One practice is different.
Well, Loretta's, they specifically run the B motos every year when the track's a little bit better.
Smoother.
Like more morning motos,
Yeah, that's why the B motos always have very comparable lap times to the...
Yeah, because isn't A the same every day, like 10 and noon or something? Or is
it's close to it.
It's close.
Yeah. It's
never 7 or 8 a.m.
Well, we were second to last moto one of the days.
But sometimes it's late, but it's never early.
It's always run the pro sport motos later like in the program where there's no prep on the track.
When it's just destroyed.
Yeah. And that track is like national caliber rough, but in amateur layout. So it's like too rough. Like the track's not made to go as fast as you want to go. But it's so freaking rough. It's literally as gnarly as an outdoor national, but it's harder than an outdoor national.
I think it's rougher. It's harder because you've got every single bike size and every single skill level.
So the way it develops, it's crazy.
And you can't, like, there's no smooth lines.
There's
like, doesn't matter what direction you go.
Yeah. Because the pro guys are braking obviously way closer into the corner, but then you get 50 plus vet guys out there that are braking 200 yards behind it, and then you got
down the whole straightaway.
Then you got little 50s that are like just creating, or like even 65 or super minis that are creating skinny ruts, and then the big bikes go in there and they blow those ruts out, and it makes hooks and everything.
Yeah, the hooks are some of the gnarliest there I've ever seen. Like you'll have like a braking bump and you'll drop into like a 4-foot rut, and the knuckle is like so another gnarly. 2 feet out. Yeah. Like it's nuts.
The way that track develops is like no other.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of cool because I got to be there. This past Loretta's was my very first amateur race there. But then for the Pro Nationals, that was the 2 rounds back to back there. I was there for that too. So when my very first time to Loretta's ever was for the Pro Nationals, and I got to see that track develop like a normal motocross, like a normal pro race. And then this time, for my first time as amateurs, I saw it develop as like the
and you could
amateur
see the
style, and I'm like, dude, it was gnarlier for the amateur stuff for Chance.
Well, like, the layouts were pretty much the same.
Yeah,
there was a few corners different. Like after
different.
the 10 Commandments, it was a little like right, straightaway left. But other than that, like it was the same layout. But I guarantee you, like the times in the development was completely different. Like it almost doesn't even seem like the same track.
And that was pre-flood too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the track was I feel like the flood took all the good dirt away.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all like bottom soil.
It's so hard underneath now. Yeah, like so Chance rides the scoop quite a bit, and he came in thinking the scoop was the move, and we started practice with the scoop. Instantly took it off. Like it was pretty hard pack underneath. Yeah. So that was like a kind of adjustment we had to go through, and a lot of people had to deal with because they weren't expecting that. But then this was the first race since that big flood. So
yeah, I forgot about that. They had to rebuild all the museum, I think, right? And everything
got
trashed.
Yeah,
dude, that was crazy.
But it was crazy. It looked like the same Loretta's as before. They did a good job.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, all the videos and stuff I saw, even like the waterfall, the museum, like it didn't look like anything was different. It didn't even look newer or older. It looked the same.
It looks the same.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Let's get back into a little bit more of what happened at Loretta's. I hate to be that guy to get into what everybody else is talking about, but the Hayden Deegan bike claim. What is your standpoint on that whole thing? I've heard so many different stories. I've talked to a bunch of different people that have different
versions of the same story.
Opinions. Yeah. What happened? What's your take on that whole thing?
Oh man.
Let's start.
I don't even know where to start.
Let's start with.
You want my opinion on the rule? You want my opinion on how it was handled?
Well, yeah. Let's start with
what happened, how they handled it, and what you think should have happened or shouldn't have.
Let's start with the rule itself. Do you agree with the rule? Do you think that rule should even be in place?
No, I'm down with it. I think, like if you look at Ryder's bike, he's got a team green bike. Like, yeah, he was riding for Pro Circuit and all that, but like that was a team green bike.
Yeah,
and you can go to walk in to Pro Circuit and buy that exact same bike.
Yeah,
it's going to cost you way more than what $17,500 I think it was.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think that rule should be raised a little bit. Maybe I think it was like double MSRP or something. Maybe it should be triple MSRP.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, even $17,500 for a full built bike, that's not a lot.
Nothing.
No, because a brand new bike retails $11,000.
Yeah.
And then you put a kit, motor, you're over. You're
but they're going off MSRP.
No, I know.
So that's the rule. Is it doesn't matter if that.
But I bet there's more than that into it.
Well, that's what exactly. That's what. And again, that's why that rule is in place, right? So that if you have a Cowie 250F that you're right, MSRP's what, $9,000 on or
something,
$10,000.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's $10,000. If you put 30 into it, now the bike is a $40,000 bike.
Which legitimately you could put $30,000 into a dirt bike.
You can easily.
Well, brand new A kit alone is freaking like $10,000.
Exactly.
Right. And then
motor could be another 10.
Motor could be 10, and then you break it down to everything else.
Tie bolt kit's 4 or 5.
Right. Yeah. If you order a new set of wheels, it's like $2,000.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but again, that rule is in place so that if you claim a bike, you're not claiming what that bike is worth. You're claiming MSRP.
Exactly.
So, I like what you're saying. I agree. I think it should probably be like 2.5 or 3.
I was just gonna say, even if it's not 3, I think 2.5. Like it, I think that needs to be brought up. Whether it's like a flat $20,000, no matter what the brand is or the MSRP, or a flat
rate of 20 would be good.
A flat rate of 20.
Because most amateurs aren't putting
throw $20,000 down. So I don't, even if they change it from an MSRP or whatever. Like I think the rule is good to be there to keep people from bringing stupid stuff.
I agree. Yeah. That's the only thing I do like about it. But it does suck that like usually they don't. Any bike that gets claimed, if they do, it's a factory bike.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, if I had a badass bike and I won and someone wanted to claim it, I'd be pissed. But I don't think you have to, right?
Yeah. You don't have a choice.
So you don't have a choice.
No. You can refuse the claim, but you're banned for like a year or something.
Minimum.
Yeah. See, so that I don't like. But like I said, the only people getting claimed are Star, Honda, Cowie. But even Cowie, it's Team Green bikes. Like,
well, I mean, if
but like everyone tries to have a like Star, especially their bikes. I'm not saying it's the full race spec, but they probably have a lot of trick ass stuff on there that's worth claiming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some serious stuff in Hayden's bike.
Right.
How if there's actually factory stuff in there, I don't know that for a fact, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some stuff in there that they definitely don't want the public having. Yeah. But I mean, in Hayden's case, he's B-Class, but I mean, say it happened to Chance, or say it happened to Talon, or rider or whatever, they could say, screw off. We'll get banned from Loretta's for a year.
Right.
We're going pro after this. Like,
See, yeah,
exactly.
So
how does that work
screwed.
though? Isn't it? Is that a year out of AMA amateur racing?
See, that's what I don't. I
or
think
is that AMA
so.
racing in
I
general?
don't know. I'd have to.
That's where it gets.
That's where it gets
Loretta's.
sticky. I think it's just.
I know
Loretta's.
from what I've heard. I didn't read this personally, but from what I've heard, that's an AMA amateur national race rule.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
It doesn't matter once you go pro. I think.
right, because you. Again, I could be wrong, but I would assume that there's no claiming rule in the professional ranks.
No.
Hell no.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
Dude, you couldn't pay $50,000 for a factory bike.
right.
No.
So
Yeah.
You're done.
that's where it gets a little weird.
But the one thing too is I always heard like in amateur racing with Loretta's, like claiming a bike is not a good look. So like for example, if I got second place in the A class or B class and I try to claim the dude that beat me, the chances you getting a ride with that team are probably never going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I've
You
always
just shot
heard,
your
like,
chance
hey,
on
if you
it.
claim a bike, you better not be on that level because if that day ever comes where you're worth a ride, they're not giving.
They're
you
gonna
one.
pass you
They're going
over.
to pass you up.
Yeah.
And they're not going to forget that.
Yeah.
It's a very small industry. So
Yeah.
you got to be careful about that. But
For sure.
I don't know the kid that claimed the bike at Loretta's, but I don't think he's.
Yeah. What was his name?
Brendan Schofield.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I
right,
think
yeah.
I think he's pretty wealthy family, and I don't think he's that good. Is he?
I have no idea. I didn't check out his Instagram, but I just like see
Yeah.
him
I
talk or
never
whatever.
heard his name.
I mean,
before
fuck.
this all
If my
happened,
dad
so I
had
don't
the
know.
money and wanted to, I would take it too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
right.
blame him. But at the same time, you got to be careful because if you're going to go pro one day and you're fast, not even just that team, teams in general, they're
Yeah.
all going to know and probably
that
it's
stigma's
frowned
gonna
upon.
follow you. What's the dude? Oh, like the dude
back
that
in the
claimed
day,
Alessi's bike
Alessi's-
back in
that's
the
right.
day.
Dude, that's
What's
like the
his
only
name?
other claim.
What's
I don't know his name.
Like, that's what he's known for the rest of
Yeah,
his career.
100%.
Like, that's what he's still known for.
Who was it?
I'm
that's-
blanking on his name.
that's a
We got to look that up.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
how
yeah.
you
I'll
would
look
look that
it
up.
up.
Try, Bullboy.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
a-
sure it's on Vital or
It
something.
literally
Yeah.
Google who claimed Michael Alessi's bikes
I'm
Yeah.
honestly interested
because I know it's a common name.
That's an interesting answer. I would like to hear that because my argument to that with this damn camera over here keeps dying. I think the one battery is fucked because I just had it charging and I went to plug it back in and it says that it still needs to be charged. So sorry about our technical difficulties. But
I'm trying.
I think that's an interesting deal because my argument to that was going to be like, what's the big deal? Is a team really gonna not? If you're a fucking ripping kid, if you're fast and you're winning races, is a team really gonna not look at you because you claim somebody's bike? Like this
I mean,
sport.
if you're like,
It
some-
depends.
heard-
If you're winning, someone's gonna take you.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're that
And
kid that's on the verge of like, say, a fill-in ride, you're not getting
Yeah.
a fill-in.
Really? Like, do you,
No.
But again, like, do you really think that a team that needs a good rider and needs somebody is going to pass you up because of that? Because, like, I heard,
I mean-
I think it was Wygant that said
I'm not
this.
saying it's 100%, but I don't think it's helping your
I
team.
heard
within
Wygant
time,
say,
it's probably going to go away. Like if
Right.
he sticks in the sport, he goes pro. Whether he's
Yeah.
rides for a team or a privateer or whatever his deal is, but I think in the amateurs, I don't think he's going to get very much support.
No,
Based
but
off
that's
that.
that's a
Well, I mean, if he did go through with it,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone kind of already knows
Yeah.
the thing, and they might not. They might pass him over
But
already
that's-
because of what happened.
that's the
even
thing
though he
too,
didn't
though,
get
is-
the bike.
or go ahead, sorry.
well again. So from my understanding, again, I don't know this Brennan Schofield kid. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. From what I've heard, he was working at Moto X compound where he was training.
Oh, Matt Walker's.
He was training there, and he was also working there rebuilding kids' bikes for
Wow.
a while. So this whole thing wasn't like a out of the blue. He planned on doing this for a long time. He
Yeah, you like
planned-
worked
he-
up the money and stuff.
He saved up months and months to the
Oh,
point where
really?
he planned on doing it at a regional, and he didn't have enough money saved.
No
So
way.
he fucking went back and worked more and worked longer.
Oh,
and
so it
showed
might
up
not
to
have been a
Loretta's.
rich parent.
From again,
Maybe
so
not. I
from
could
what
have that wrong.
how-
Don't quote me on
from
that.
what
That's what
I heard.
How long was
See, I
he
hate
saving
hearing
up?
different shit.
Months.
Yeah, dude,
months.
Because that would be
There's
a
no
fucking
way
badass
I could
story.
save up 17.5 in months.
like
That would take
20
me
grand.
forever.
But I'm just saying,
so like,
see,
that's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
But that
Like,
would
there's
be
no
a
way I
killer
could-
story.
But that's from the kid. I watched an interview.
That's what he's saying?
That's from his words. Yeah.
I mean, how do you save up that much money and working on other amateurs' bikes?
I don't know.
I mean, granted, if he did,
or even if he put,
I need to go there and start working on the bikes there instead.
Right. I want to go work there.
It.
Yeah, you're making 17.
But that would make for a badass story. See, that would change my perspective.
And again,
on things.
that's I don't know what opinion to have on this deal anymore, because I've heard there's days where I hear shit and I'm like, the kid probably shouldn't have did it, and then there's days where I hear
there's some conflicting stories from all the there's probably 6 or 7 different individuals involved in what actually happened. Take away all the outsiders and everything, there's 6 or 7 individuals between the star, the kid that claimed his bike, Tim Cotter, there's only so many individuals, and it seems like a lot of their stories don't mesh with each other.
No. Right.
And that's what's the most confusing part, trying to track down what actually happened.
Everyone forms their own opinion on everything. That's what's annoying. No one wants to tell the truth. Everyone wants to make themselves look better.
Look good in the story. Yeah.
I think
paint a perfect image.
One of the biggest twists in it was, from what I heard, the claim didn't end up going through. The kid pulled out because his sponsor, he rides for a little dealership in Canada.
Yeah.
And they didn't like it.
It's a Yamaha dealership, and apparently the Yamaha guy, the higher ups at Yamaha, called that dealership and were like, hey, we're going to pull the plug on your dealership if you don't fix this.
So that's what I'm saying.
I heard all that initially.
You get blackballed.
But then recently I heard that didn't happen
I heard that
all.
as well.
And then it was, what's that guy, the trainer dude? I guess
Matt
he caused up a bunch of he stirred the pot a little bit, and maybe threw that comment in there hey, if this goes gnarly, this could happen, and maybe
and
they all got scared.
It did.
Yeah.
But see, again, that's where it gets weird, because I watched the interview of that kid, and I want to say Tyler Livesay. I could be saying his name wrong too.
That.
But I believe I would have to watch it again to really confirm, but I'm pretty sure that kid said that.
We should just call the dealership
right now. Call. You have their number?
Bro, I would love to talk to
right now on air.
I would love to talk to somebody.
So Lindsay, I guess, went on this crazy Scavenger Hunt, basically.
Yeah. I was watching some of Lindsay's
I saw him post, I just subscribed to Vital or whatever, so I see all these videos popping up on my feed, and they're 2 hours long, and I'm I'm sorry, I'm curious on what happened, but dude, I'm not spending 2 hours trying to figure out what happened.
I need straight to the point. I need an Instagram post.
I'd rather just call Michael and be give me the freaking bullet points.
Just tell me now.
Actually watching it.
Yeah. Give me the scoop on what happened. I don't need all that extra bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, granted, there's probably a lot of information in there.
Tell me the truth, and I'll tell you what race Chance is going to race.
Yeah. But again, there's just so much to the story, and again, I don't want to be another one of those people that are just trying to talk about it for views or anything
or
like
hate
that
for no reason.
Right, because again, I'm so neutral on it. I like Hayden. I want to see him do good. I'm totally on that side of I think he's good for the sport. But then again, I think
eyes onto it.
Exactly.
Well, you got to remember,
I'm on the side of I want to be on the no-name kids team too.
Right.
If it really went down how he said it did, then he kind of got fucked.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, the rule just till you disrdisregard the rule. He claimed it and then he didn't get the bike.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he pulled the claim.
Yeah.
But I didn't even see
that
did
was
the Deegans,
after some.
Did the Deegans even did they make a big deal of it? Because I feel like they probably don't give a shit. It's not their bike. It's not their deal.
So apparently
Brian
Tim Cotter took this kid again. This is all I wasn't fucking there.
Hearsay.
So this is all hearsay. But
and
apparently,
the stories that were going around while at Loretta's, because I was I was there. Oh my god, dude,
really?
it was gnarly.
What was the gnarliest one you heard?
Oh, dude, there was
Deegan's on the 2026
and
I'm just kidding.
payoffs and all sort, and this dude was gonna pull the motor apart and start selling Star Racing spec.
The funny thing is, even if you open that motor, even a motor guy, you open that motor and look at it,
it's all custom.
You might have an idea, but at the same time, you don't know who did it.
Yeah.
You don't know, it doesn't matter. I guarantee you can't replicate that motor.
The mapping for
and even
it,
if you do, it's
the
not
mapping to make it run good.
Yeah,
it's all locked. It's all locked. You need
can't
passwords
get in their
to get in that
electronics,
shit. You cannot see what their mapping is to make that motor run.
You can only
the
go
way
forward.
It is.
You can't go back.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So unless you got some badass mapper that you can throw that bike on the dyno, then get it running good, and then somehow pull it apart and spec out everything and spend, I don't know, probably 30 to 40K on the custom parts.
Oh yeah,
dude, it would be an even bigger investment than just the 17.5
for sure.
To replicate that spec.
Well, I feel like all these bikes, like I feel like the electronics is one of the most important things anyways. That's what makes everything work.
Yeah.
Like I've always heard that stars of electronics is a huge part of why their bike's so good. So it's like you can only do so much to a motor. Yeah, you can try to custom stuff here and there, but just because someone has that motor doesn't mean that they're going to start building star bikes. It doesn't work that way.
So from like a mechanic standpoint, you think if that kid's motor builder would have got in there, there's probably not much he's going to get from it. Because Yamaha did try.
And no.
Yamaha tried claiming apparently that there's markings on some of the parts in that motor that could be identified. That's why they were so worried.
Yeah, I didn't hear that part, but I mean, probably. I mean, when you get team stuff going,
Would a team like Yamaha, like, does that sound right? Would they put markings on internal pieces to?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not a mechanic at all, and when I heard that, I was like, that. Why would they do that? Like, why would they? Why would they literally?
Yeah, because they know every time they do one, they know what to do.
Right.
Like they're familiar with it. So why would you mark it? That's if someone else is going to look at it.
You keep track of either case numbers or some sort of number on the motor itself, and then you have a engine sheet, and you know what hours everything. Like, there's no reason to.
Yeah.
But I mean, you might have like numbers on heads and stuff. Like,
sounds like an inside job.
Like interchange heads and stuff. But I mean, on my end, I don't see a reason why they would. But at the same time, that he could theoretically, if he had a good dyno, if he had a good tuner as far as like mapping and stuff, and he had a lot of money to throw at replicating the parts, he could theoretically copy that spec. Gotcha. But it would take a hell of a lot more than 17.5.
Yeah. And at that rate, is it really worth it?
When your normal motor builder probably doesn't have that money in time to do that.
Which, I mean, I don't know the guy at all, but I heard that Brandon was blowing up motors left and right and stuff, and that was maybe kind of fueled his, like, I need a bike that runs good and won't have issues with, and I guess they gave him like 2 crate motors and all this. Dude, there's so many different. I don't know if he actually got motors or not, but like
that's why I have no idea what the real.
Well, in the star bike, even if you got that motor, dude, they rebuild those like every 5 hours.
All the time, yeah.
So it's like it's not going to last very long.
You're at best. Probably
usually it's every race. But.
No. Well, that's just race motors. Yeah. But like the race motors is the same as practice motors. At best, I guarantee it's like 20 hours or something before that thing just grenades. Yeah.
It will grenade.
Yeah, for sure it will.
But those things rev at such a high RPM, dude. It's so hard on them.
Yeah.
And they're so lean.
So do you think, at the end of the day, do you think that the kid was being straight up and he really just wanted to race it at Walton and shoot YouTube videos on it? Or do you think that it was the motor builder? Because there's a lot. Know. I think now it's kind of gotten to the point where...
The lines have blurred so much.
Yeah. From what I've read lately, it's a lot of like, is this on the motor builder or is this on the kid?
I don't know. I mean, if it just comes down to who's telling the truth.
Right.
Honestly.
There's 3 sides, his, and the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's I don't know if we'll ever find that out.
Maybe not.
Like I said, I got to call Michael and figure it out. I don't want to spend
just say,
4 hours
tell me what you know.
Listening to all of it, yeah. But whatever. I mean, it's been a minute since something like this has happened in the sport that everybody's talking about. So it's kind of fun.
Probably since Alessi's bikes.
I mean,
probably.
I mean, Lasergate was probably the last biggest one I could think of. I mean,
there's been also involved with Alessi.
Yeah. There's been a couple things here and there like that people talk about and stuff, but like it's been a while since there's something that just across the board everyone's been talking about. So it's kind of fun. I mean, something to.
That's I read a lot of comments of like
we need conversations going around the sport.
Exactly.
Yeah, it must be like a bunch of old heads saying this, but like I see like on Verb posts and shit. There's people like why do you guys feed into this moto drama and all this shit? And I've like thought about commenting back to some of them and just being like, bro, this is like
entertainment.
This is the most
like a reality TV show
for us.
This is the
most entertainment we've had in this sport, and I don't know how long.
And you know what happens once you go pro? Supercross, it's called Feld Entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's an entertainment business.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Amateur doesn't really have a lot of entertainment, so we need anything we can get.
Dude, there's always drama in amateur.
But it's
not
just
like
covered.
mainstream.
It never gets
yeah.
highlighted. Yeah. Or it never goes mainstream.
It's
and
like
that's
this guy don't like that
but we
guy.
Need to bring that
that guy hung
Yeah.
out with that guy's girlfriend and all that type of stuff going around.
There's always a lot of that. I think the fact that
good head games.
I think the fact that it had the Deegans involved is what made it
blew it up
just so big.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, even if it wasn't the Deegans, I still think it would have been a big story. As big of a story, maybe not.
Right.
But for sure, that had a big part in it.
Yeah.
That it was Hayden and Star Racing, because that's one of the top bikes right now in the class. So.
For sure. Well, and with Hayden winning and everything, I mean, they had to know that that's a huge possibility.
It's a risk for sure.
It is definitely a risk, but I know Reagan's willing to do anything to win.
He's DTF. He just wants to win.
For sure. And I love that. But at the same time, it's like you knew the risk going into it. Like, you can't really be that pissed.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they swept it as good as they could have under the rug. So
yeah.
It all worked out in a way. But
yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're going to be changing up the rules and everything on that whole claiming rule thing too.
Yeah.
So
and
I'm curious
what's crazy
to see.
is I knew that something was going to change from it.
For
I
sure.
knew that something would end up
changing the
coming
rule
from this whole
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
But it's funny because you get a kid like, say, an amateur kid that isn't factory, but if he won the B class, no one's probably going to claim his bike. The rule won't change.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if someone did claim it, rule's not changing.
Or it happened in the 50
when
class.
it's a factory kid and it's Deegan, it's like, well, now we're going to change the rules.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Another thing
That's
heard,
like the old John Gallagher in Supercross, dude. He used to change
just
the rules
making
by
the
the
rules
round.
Yeah, exactly.
Not by the year, by the round. And it's like,
he would
can we
change
just
the
come up with
rules by
something?
his emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved. Anderson always used to call him out.
Yeah.
Like, dude, make up your fucking
Yeah,
mind.
when he told him to suck it.
Yeah. Straight
I was
up.
just watching that the other day.
I love it.
I was kind of laughing too, because another thing being at Loretta's, like when all this was going down, I heard that people were talking shit like, why are they so pissed? Brian threatened to buy every 50 that was on the line, claim every single one of them at whatever race
heard
that
that
was.
too.
And I was
was
like,
funny.
That was
like,
funny.
no way. Like, I mean, granted, that's different. They're like mini dads. Mini dads are
Mini dads
freaking
are gnarly,
crazy,
dude.
dude. They're crazy.
Yeah, don't piss them off.
gnarly.
Yeah.
They run around the whole outskirts of the track following their kid. They
You
do
say the
20-minute
wrong thing
motos,
to one of
too.
those guys, they'll freaking knock you out.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be me in a few years.
Oh, gosh.
Got a P-dub on the way yet, or what?
Fuck no.
You already put a boy on order?
Yeah. No, we
you already
need to-
ordered a boy?
We need to work on having a boy, and then we'll look into some
You'll get
P-dubs.
the tennis rackets and stuff for the
Unless
girl.
we could be the dudes to bring back WMX in full force.
Nope, I want no part of that. I want no part of that.
It's cool. Honestly, Tony Alessi is already going to be doing that with his 2 new daughters.
Yeah.
He's already
He's
there
got
with
a
the
lot of
Stay
daughters.
Six and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like
He can do it. He can cover
he's
it.
gonna, dude. WMX will be back.
I think Tony's gonna, or Mike's gonna be back. He's restarting his career, man. He's
I
going
know.
back to Loretta's.
Hey,
He's coming back.
he's literally
Classic
taking it
or
back.
something.
He's
Yeah.
starting backwards.
He's starting over.
But he's literally starting backwards on
Yeah.
the gate, dude. Just trying to.
Dude, yes, that was gnarly. I
Oh,
can't believe he
and
did
I love
that.
Pulp's like, dude, he'll literally do anything to get the hole shut. Like,
Yeah.
he literally go. I think he went like out of the gate or whatever, or like he was
so
backwards in the
it
gate.
was first moto, and I think it was the last day, and he like had to do good or something to like have a chance overall.
Yeah.
Like Cole pretty much was
Cole
killing
looked
it.
good
He's
this
been on
year,
a
dude.
run.
Cole was
I was
killing
very
it.
I
impressed
seen
with
him at
Cole.
Mammoth, and he was ripping.
He
there,
was
too.
ripping
Dude, he's
Yeah.
put in the work this year. He's
Yeah.
as good as he's ever been.
He's
I
killing
swear,
it.
outdoor wise. Like,
Yeah.
he looked
So he rolled into his gate backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Before the sight lap or something.
Yeah.
First moto, it's all muddy. It's all like everything. He does like a burnout in his rut to like get all the mud out.
He wanted,
and then
yeah.
they're like, no, like he went out for a sight lap, and they were like, no, you're
40th.
all the way on the way. They sent him all the way to the outside.
But I don't think he
after
got
that.
good. I don't think he got good starts all week.
No, dude,
Which is
Heath,
weird.
Heath was killing
Heath
it.
killed it.
Oh
He ripped
my
like
god,
every
he
start.
got like
And
5
he's-
out of 6 hole shots.
Dude, he's like all things moto too. Like he could do woods, he
Yeah.
could do off road, he can do moto.
That dude's
like,
really good on a
dude.
dirt
He's
bike.
so well rounded. It's nuts.
yeah.
Is
And
it
he's
the
like he's
arena
been
cross?
retired,
Yeah.
but he still
Mechanic?
fucking kills it.
Yeah.
Is he he's
a mechanic for Phoenix.
He is like mechanicking now. Yeah. Like I've seen him at the
But
Outdoor
he still
Nationals
did. When I was at club, he was always riding.
Yeah. Yeah, he still rips,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Yeah.
He was on the Phoenix Hunt.
Yeah.
I saw that dude whole shot. I was like, yo, what? And he let it lap or something. Like, it was sick.
He still got it.
Didn't he get second overall or something, or third? Or
he got
did good, I think.
Speaking of hole shots, he hit the gate really hard, flipped it forward, took off,
way ahead of everyone.
They red flagged it.
Yeah.
And then he still got the penalty, even though
on the restart.
They restarted it. He still got the penalty for it. So that
sucks.
screwed him overall.
That's not cool.
That does suck.
That was second moto 25 plus.
That sucks.
So that took him out of it. He would have got second overall for sure behind Cole.
Yeah,
because he was beating Lessie too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What a fucking eventful year.
Honda dominated 25 plus, dude.
Yeah.
And Open Pro.
Just
with the guy you didn't think.
Right.
I might end up looking into a Honda.
I saw your story
the other day.
Did you see my reply?
Hondas are nice.
You saw the little eyes I sent you.
I did see that. I don't know, man. I didn't know that Yamaha was gonna just come out with a new bike like that. So now my bike's old.
Yeah,
and I don't like having an old.
That's
bike.
like
Did you post that testing the waters thing before it came out or after?
After.
Yeah. You gotta go quick.
Looks pretty cool.
You gotta go quick.
That's why.
Otherwise, it's gonna start going downhill.
I like the look of the new Yam though. I mean, it reminds me of the 65.
I don't know if I really like it.
Because the front number plate's the same.
It looks like it's a wannabe Honda.
It is kind of similar.
It gives me those vibes.
The front number plate is similar. Oh, no, the side plate is too.
And it's a wannabe
and the roof fender.
Stark Varge. The front fender is identical.
Dude, it's super short and like kind of pointy.
It's like
I don't like short front fenders.
Yeah, that's
the
first
short
thing
fenders.
that came to mind.
Yeah. But all right, boys. Well, I got a call coming in. I got to go shoot some shit or something. We're going to get Tommy out of here. We appreciate you coming on, brother.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
I know I keep nagging you guys about this movie, but we got this movie coming out.
We're close.
We're really close to finishing it, and we got some merch we're going to drop at the same time, so be on the lookout for that.
Wearing a couple hats right now. Got one shirt right here. Stay tuned.
You already know this shit's about to come out. And once it comes out, we're going to have some cool prizes to give away with some of the orders, so you'll definitely want to order. And, make sure to like, subscribe, and go follow Bullboy.
Hey!
Peace. We're out.
See you guys.
Hell yeah. Hey, dude,
I was going to say it, but I'd rather you say it. Did you want to